a lot of people are being bullied by not being able to speak Indonesian. And I
And it's
think
not
what
even from
made
students,
me.
it's from teachers.
So, do you guys feel more comfortable speaking English or Indonesian?
Um, for me, it's English.
What about Shafa?
It's both.
So, then what about when you came back to Indonesia? I think this question is specific to Rifda. You spent a lot of time in Australia and then you had to be back to Indonesia. Did you experience any bad experiences when you went back to Indonesia?
Well, I went back for 2 years, right? And like the first time, uh, I think there's no really bad experiences from my classmates, but there were bad experiences from my teachers. I remember
Oh.
I first went to school. I couldn't I could not speak Indonesian. I could speak like little words, and like if I didn't know a word in Indonesian, I would say it in English and like hope for the best that they understand what I'm saying.
Mm.
I would be like, oh, I would provide the word that I'm thinking about in English, and then I'm like, you know you know what that means, right? Like I hope you do, because I don't know what else. Oh, I used a lot of Google Translate. That's so embarrassing, but I had to do it, and I'm like, that's how I
What about
communicated.
your assignments?
Oh my god, my assignments, I wrote everything in English and then I translated it to Indonesian.
Oh
Like
no.
translated it using Google Translate?
Yeah, and like I forced the teacher to let me because like how else was I gonna do this freaking
That's
bahasa
true.
Indonesian assignment? Also, I didn't try in Japanese, like that was like a lost cause. That was and okay, anyways, I'll tell you about the bad experiences. I remember I think it was like not my first week, like a couple, like the first few weeks of my Indonesian school. This economy teacher that I really hated. Oh my god, whenever she walks in the room, my anxiety just like I just start crying. And like I remember she called my name so I could get up to the board and like do the question. But I obviously didn't know what she was talking about. Hello, I'm new. And then she's like, "Come on, you're supposed to be in Australia." And I'm like, what are you saying, woman? That doesn't make sense. And I'm like, no, I'm not getting up. I don't know the answer. And then she kept on forcing me, and like everyone in the room like was really scared of her. She was she was really mean, and like she had that aura, and like everyone was like scared by her. And I'm like, I'm not getting up. And then like at the end, she forced me to get up, and then I started crying.
Oh my god.
No, oh my god.
I
In
hope she
class?
because I hope she felt bad. I would just start crying. I'm like, girl, don't try me. Don't try me. I'm not gonna do it. And that happened to my math teacher as well. Oh my god, math was so hard because obviously the math is different, and you have to do
Yeah.
in Indonesia. You can't use calculator, and I wasn't taught like that. And she would always tell me to get up in the room because she knew I was behind. Like
So mean.
I
That's so
know,
mean. Like they were deliberately picking you to
yeah, that's
fail.
why
Yeah.
I had anxiety every time I had economics and maths, and that's that.
Oh man, I'm so sorry that happened to you.
Yeah, it was my inability to speak fluent.
Being friends with Shafa in high school actually helped a lot with my Indonesian acquisition. Like
No,
I
exactly.
totally forgot everything Indonesian.
Dude, I
And
wish I had that friend in high school.
Yeah, I think being
I
friends
was
with
about to say that
Hanon
would be like a
helped me keep my English because like I think our school is Indo based, right? Our high school.
yeah, it is. Oh guys. I'm sorry that happened to you, Rifta. And I know it also happened to a lot of our Australian friends.
It's trauma.
Um a lot of yeah, a lot of people are being bullied by not being able to speak Indonesian. And I
And it's
think
not
what
even from
made
students,
me.
it's from teachers.
True, that's true. But there's also some people that are actually being bullied by the students as well. And like, I think that's just kind of sad.
Yeah, it's definitely because you don't see like in Australia you don't see like people picking on each other because they can't speak English. Like they don't do that. You know what I mean? It's like they just don't because that's just like rude. But like in Indonesia, I feel like people are more like transparent. They don't sugarcoat anything. They just like say the first thing in their heads.
I don't think that's being transparent. I think that's just being rude.
I feel like that's a wrong word. Okay. They're too honest.
Like blunt
Yeah.
gitu.
Yeah, blunt. Exactly.
Another question. Was it hard to get used to using two languages? Especially when Rifda is in Indonesia and Shafa is living in Indonesia, but her school environment are all in English. So was it hard for you guys to get used to using two languages?
Well, for me, when I moved here, I adapted to English and I just used that like for like years. I didn't switch to Indonesian. That's why my Indo was really, and I never really used two languages. I just like stayed with English. And then when I had to move to Indo, it was definitely really hard because it's like
Okay.
yeah, that's why it's hard.
Well, I think for me, if you're speaking a language, you're also introduced to their culture. And
Oh,
with
that's true.
English, one of the culture shock for me, well, not culture shock, but like when I was in elementary, you don't refer to your kakak kelas using kak, and it was just like we're all friendly and calling each other by names. And then I had to move to middle school. It's still an English speaking school, but they were asking me to refer to the older one using kak.
It's
Mm.
actually that's a good point because I really hate the whole gut thing, no offense, but
Mm.
I feel like you cannot be friends with them because here you just like call them by their first name and like you can be friends and
Yeah.
you have to know their age or anything. Like you just click. And like when I moved to Indo, like everyone was like, there's like I feel like everyone's like walking on eggshells like with their kakak class and stuff. But I feel like they
That's
cannot
true.
with each other
Yeah.
and joke around. And I remember this one time in Indo, there was like that we had this like council thing and like you could volunteer to like join it and like you and then what you do there is like you give advice to like people who are like struggling with stuff and stuff. And like, my friend, she was like, I don't want to go there and like be interviewed by a grade below us. And I'm like, what? Like obviously if they're there for a reason. Like they have the knowledge to help you. Like why would you not
Yeah.
want to, you know? And I'm like, wow, people, I don't know. It really annoyed me because that just like yeah, hate.
Yeah. So on that same topic, what other culture differences do you guys notice between English and Indonesian?
It's when you just kenalan with someone, and you would in English you would like normally compliment them like, "Hey, you're so pretty." But then I did that, and the person I was talking to was very Indonesian, obviously. So I think it was kind of awkward for the both of us.
What did you compliment her on?
I told her I was pretty. I told her she was pretty. Like I looked at her profile picture,
Yeah.
Oh.
and then I just realized I sound like a creep.
Wait, that's a good point though, because I feel like that's how I start most conversations here. Like when I see like I would walk into a new class and then like I see like a cool girl and like I'll be like, oh my god, I love your shoes. I love them. I really want them and stuff like that. And that's how like the conversation starts. Like complimenting them and like asking things. Like I feel like clothes is a really big conversation start.
Yeah, true.
And in Indo, I never like initiated anything, so I wouldn't know how to like start a conversation and like what do you even ask? Like I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, true.
The last question that I want to ask is, what is your memory of language usage? When I went back to Indonesia, I don't know why, even though it's my mother language, it's a lot harder to learn it back.
I feel like the language is like divided into like 3 or 2, like one for casual and like one for like
you're gonna have to be able to quickly adapt according to the settings, like how you speak in Indonesian,